Welcome to the junior high snare drum tutorial. As you can hear in Marshall's performance of this set 2 etude, we have some challenges right off the bat. We have rudiments, we have a fanfare, we've got some ornaments and buzz rolls. So your hands are challenged right off the bat. You're going to hear me talk about this in all the other videos, but it's so important for us to understand neutrality of our hand at rest. It's really important for our absolute base function in our hand to be in what I like to refer to as medium cocoon. Medium cocoon means that there's a lot of flexibility in what your hands can do for the different challenges required. So right off the bat we have triplet dum zum, triplet 3. Right off the bat it's a big fanfare, but we also need the sensitivity of our hands to play that buzz roll smoothly. So Marshall, could you play the opening 2 bars? So the opening bar through the triplet, and watch, not only will he expressively start piano and end forte in this big triplet statement, but watch how his hands are able to stay open and relaxed through the buzz. So before you lift to play that triplet really boldly, it's important that you understand that your hands are never ever compressed to get choked sound. So we always stay as relaxed as possible. Great job on that, Marshall. Now we have a statement that rises and falls here heading into the second line. Could you just take the next 3 bars, Marshall? 1, 2, 2, 3 to 1, triplet 2, and etc. He arrives all the way at that pianissimo at the edge, as notated, and then we come back here a third of the way. Also, pay attention to exactly where on the drum that I suggest. That's for you to really get a sense of all of the different tonal possibilities and color possibilities between playing something at the same dynamic, but the very, very subtle differences in color. So for example, if I play mezzo piano just off center, it has a depth and a real guttiness to it. I play that same mezzo piano a little further off center, slightly more distant, and then about halfway, now it's a mixture of attack and distant. Then as I get toward the edge, now it's starting to loom off into the distance. And so it's not always about dynamics, it's about the presence of the sound. That's why I'm trying to show the possibility of playing at the edge and playing to the center, and where that sound really, really ends up really affording the player to play softly with presence or distance. Those are the 2 considerations whenever you play in what I consider zones of the drum. So you'll hear in the second line, Marshall's going to play the third of the way, and then third of the way becomes center, and then third of the way to the center, and then of course center to the edge. So he's going to play the entire second line and stop at letter A. And watch carefully how he navigates the zones. It is really subtle, but at the level of the audition, you want to separate yourself from everyone else by being really picky and intentional about your sounds. Great job, Marshall. Now, as we head from A to B, we have a little bit more space involved. We have some rest. We have a little bit of some flam vocabulary that's introduced with a triplet that brings us in. So we're going to take A to B and just watch Marshall bring us to letter B, and that's a strong forte. It's a nice 2-bar phrase to lead us in. Do you hear how he paced his crescendo heading into B? That's a very, very, really mature way to arrive somewhere, by pacing how quickly you play louder. Very, very important skill for us to develop. Let's talk about B to C. Now, right where we arrive, now we have a dance. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, triplet 1, ticka dum chuck, ticka is, some jump da. Then we'll talk about the cut time in a moment. But listen to the dance feel, the waltz feel that Marshall gives us from B to C. Yes, you're going to hear a tenuto flam. Yes, you're going to have a 5-stroke roll and so on and so forth. And a triplet, the patata sticking right, left, right. You're going to hear the technical aspects, but notice when Marshall plays it, he never ever loses sight of this. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, all the way through. Very clearly expressed. Now, you can see here we have a metric modulation, students. The metric modulation means there is a relationship from the former tempo into the new tempo. In this case, the new half note is 86 beats a minute. The dotted quarter note becomes the half note. And so now we arrive at this tempo. And as we discussed prior, it really feels like a march. This should be felt in a very heavy 2. 1, 2, 10, 1, t, 2, triple 1, t, 2, t, 1. So go ahead and play from C to the end, please. Can you feel the space that Marshall is honoring every time we have a quarter note? Those quarter rests there in cut time really allow you to sound very mature, and you keep the space of the march really characteristic. Great job. So to sum up, there are a lot of technical challenges throughout. There are varied stickings, flams, buzzes, all the way through all of your etudes, junior high percussionists. But the common thread through all of it is being intentional about your rhythmic integrity. Does the music feel good from a space standpoint? The note to the space to the next note. That should be your priority. Great sounds, great rhythmic integrity, and then go after the expressive qualities that are written in your music. Great job, Marshall.